Shalom Bracha, a good Mishchoid Yisroel. We should help him. We should all be sereha to a year with bracha, hatzlacha, panecha, gesund, and nachas, and avada Torah, Yishakeini, everything we need. I would like to start a new series of shirim be'ezeh Hashem b'siyata Shmaya. Until now, we spoke about Barichas Godel, about the tshuva movement, which started from before the Second World War. Barichas Godel Moed. We still have what to finished. We are holding, but what's going on in our generation? I have a lot to write on the topic. It's just not Masada. So be'ezeh Hashem, hope to continue it b'siyata Shmaya at another time, hopefully sooner than later. But right now, I would like to start a shir on a unique topic. A unique topic. What's the unique topic? The Navi says, Malka sereha bagoyim in Torah. That Klal Yisroel and exile, what we misabel, is that when Klal Yisroel went to Gullus, we lost the Torah. We lost the Torah. The Torah is not the same as it was in times of Beis Hamikdash. You know, everyone makes a zeichel Hamikdash when they build a house. You leave over al amma to remember that there's a chaim Beis Hamikdash. It's interesting to note that the Talmud Bavli starts off also with the chaim Beis Hamikdash. Where does it start? Where does Talmud Bavli start with chaim Beis Hamikdash? Talmud Bavli starts with chaim Beis Hamikdash because it says, "Ve'ibesei kodesh ma ba'arvis mishah shakanim." When do we read the Kriya Shema by night? From the time the Kohanim go to eat the Truma, ad seif shmira harashoina, until the end of the first Mishmar, which means the Gemara explains there's 3 or 4 parts in the night. It's split up in 3 or 4, and the end of the first part. So first of all, the first halacha is Kriya Shema, obviously, but it's what's the time for Kriya Shema? Right away, we're remembering the Beis Hamikdash, remembering Kahanim, Hanachnasam, Le'echel, Steimasam, they retire themselves to eat the Truma. But more than that, when's the end of the time? It starts from when the Kahanim eat the Truma, and it finishes when the end of the first Mishmar. And the Gemara discusses why are we referring to the time of Mishmaris over here? And the Gemara says that we're referring to Mishmaris because to teach us that what Rabbi says that Al Kol Mishmar, that the night is split up into Mishmaris of Malachim and Dar Malachim, that Mishmar means that Malachim are on the watch and in Shemayim, and of Al Kol Mishmar and Mishmar, and every Mishmar HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yoshev v'shoyi kari, the Shalom screams like Ari, Oyli Chraftias Beisi, Oyli Yisraftias Choli, destroyed my house and burnt my heichel. That's what the Mishnah is coming to remind you of. The first Mishnah, in the first statement, that we lay in Kriya Shema from a certain time until a certain time, and that certain time is the Chorban Beis Hamikdash. And that's the first statement is coming to remind us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Yeshiv, is Shoyi Kari, I'll call Mishmar and Mishmar, that he's pained by the Chorban Beis Hamikdash. And then the Gemara has a whole arichas, Gimel Amud Aleph, about the Chorban Beis Hamikdash. Gemara goes on and on about that, about Rabbi Yossi. He went into a Chorban Yishalayim, and he heard Baskel and Hamaski Yoina, and then Oyli Chrafti is Beisi. So we see right away that the Navi, that the Tana is talking about a whole lot of riches about the Chorban Beis Hamikdash. In the Gemara, the first member in the Mishnayos, in the first Agalit in the Gemara, it's very, very powerful, descriptive Gemara. I think even more than the other Gemaras and we find other places in Shas and in other places. Over here, it's very personal tsar of the Chorban Beis Hamikdash, Kvei Shemayim, the Rebbeinu Shalom's pain, and he's screaming like a lion. He's a roar. I don't think in other places in Gemara they have this description. It's so long and so it goes on and on about this. Why is that? Is that chance that Chazal put in the beginning of Shas this idea? What's the idea? Is because to remember this, Malka, sereha, bagoyim in Torah. That even though we have Talmud Bavli, but Talmud Bavli is machshakim mashevani elikim. The machshakim, the word says that Talmud Bavli is machshakim deep in Golos. Yeah, there's a my list, it's all amazing. But the Navi says Malka, sereha, bagoyim in Torah. That's all the milos of the Torah. And Kiva, the Torah was right to give the Torah through him, which is the beginning of a new madrega of Torah, and the second base after the chaim, the second base of Mikdash, and all the Torah that we have today is from Kiva after the chaim base of Mikdash. Kiva, like it says over there. All the Midrashim, Sefri, Sefra, Tosefta, Teres Kahanim, everything is going according to Kiva. Kiva was right to give Torah to him, and Kiva was after the second base, Chaim base of Mikdash. After everything was in Golos, and that's the Melchshaka Mashevani Elikim. All the great milas is Bechlal what the Navi says. Malka, sereha, bagoyim in Torah. We have to remember, and just like you have to make an amal on the house, we have to remember that everything that we have now is l'umas, the madrigas of the times of Beis Hamikdash, is ein Torah. That's what the Navi is saying. We know the chaim wrote a sefer of all the mitzvos that are missing. Most of the mitzvos that are missing today, it's just on a practical level. Most of the mitzvahs are missing from the Torah, that we don't have the ability to do Golos. So that's just on a practical level, understanding what's going on over here. But really, it's a lot deeper. What is this in Torah? What's going on with the in Torah? It's not just, until now we understand that it's, there's a Beis Mikdash, but an Ashpois, we agree with Hasagis and Avos Hashem, major Nevuah. The first Beis Mikdash, beginning the second Beis Mikdash, there was Moedik and Betregis of Nevuah, and there was Ruach HaKodesh and Pascal, and there was Nissim, the Beis Mikdash. It was Tanom in the times of Beis Mikdash. But it's not just about that there was Tanom and the Nevi'im in times of Beis Mikdash. There was Ruach HaKodesh in times of Beis Mikdash. It was Kapara in times of Beis Mikdash. It's even about the mitzvahs that we do. We're actually doing now. We're doing mezuzah, sefer Torah, tefillin, tzedakah, whatever it is you say it. In the times of Golos, even the basic mitzvahs, we lost our connection. We lost our ability to do those mitzvahs. Even the most basic that we take for granted. We do the basic mitzvahs. In today's days, the lulav and everything is mamash spitz. This is a new phenomenon. This is something which our grandparents never heard of. This is during Golos, we weren't able to do this stuff. I'll just read what the Rambam writes. The Rambam writes like this. When you see Hilchos Tshuva, Pthicha ba Torah, Deibishus maftiach as na Torah, shem nasa oisa b'simcha. If we're going to do the Torah and mitzvahs b'simcha, it be toivus nefesh, with a good heart, with a good soul, with a nefesh. V'nehena b'chachmasa v'tamid, and we'll enjoy the Torah. If we do it b'simcha, and we're going to enjoy the Torah, and we're going to love the Torah, that in this Rambam, that in order to have the schools of Torah, you have to enjoy it. You constantly, the Hashem says, if you enjoy what you're doing, He's going to take away all the things that keep us away from it. That take us away from being able to do it. When someone's sick, when there's a milchama going on, when there's a hunger going on, when the economy is going bad, and when the terrorists are around, all these things keep us back from even kind of the Torah. He's going to take away, if we enjoy doing the Torah, enjoy learning the Torah, he's going to take away all this stuff. He'll be mashpia to us all the good stuff that give us the capabilities of learning and doing what we're supposed to do in the Torah. He'll make us full, pay our grocery bills. V'shalom, he's going to make peace give communication skills. He's going to give us peace between our neighbors and our family. And If you Rabbi Kesef Azov, he'll give us a lot of money, gold and silver. We shouldn't be so busy with what our body needs. And we'll be able to have time, extra time to learn and put ourselves in the Torah. Last is a mitzvah to do the mitzvahs to do the chaim. That's from the good side. The Torah was medias. If we leave go of the Torah from our own will, we decide we're not going to do Torah. Yeah, we have extra time. It's Sunday. Maybe we'll go play baseball. I'm not going to play baseball for 2-3 hours. We're going to play baseball, and then we'll come home. We'll go to the restaurant, and then we'll go to the pool. We're just going to leave go of everything. We're not going to enjoy. The Torah is not going to be our enjoyment. We're going to leave go of the Torah from Das. The Nasik behevla zman will be Isaac in the hevla zman. Yishmael is going to come fat, and is going to vayivat. He's going to be buried in Hashem. He's not going to do what Hashem wants. Shaddai, even though he's all fat, he has everything he needs. He has a beautiful house. He has every kshmak ezachin. Shaddai and Emes, Yosef and Izim is kolotay is olam hazeh. He's going to leave go. Hashem is going to take away from all the people that leave go of him all the goodness of this world. That they gave him koyach to be buried in Hashem. He may will him kol harois. He'll bring on them chamon alatzon, all the bad stuff, hamoyin oisam liknus olam haba, which keep them back from being koine olam haba. They should be never with their riches. So Dr. Rama, what's the Rama saying over here? That if a person does Torah and learns Torah and does mitzvahs and enjoys it, Hashem will give him more reason to keep on enjoying himself in Torah and mitzvahs. But if a person, and that's all the gashmias, all the help he'll have. But if a person gets gashmias and that brings him away from Hashem, he gives him more reason to enjoy his life. The gashmias gives him more opportunity for enjoyment, not enjoyment of gashmias, not enjoyment of rachnias, not Torah and mitzvahs. So he's going to take those away. Because Hashem will say, I gave it only to do Torah and mitzvahs, now you can't do it. He's going to take away the things and he's going to make him be menehem from being koine olam haba. Extra 15 minutes I'll put away Sunday for learning. I'll be koine olam haba. Olam haba also. No. You have to take olam haba serious. And if we don't take it serious enough, the Hashem is going to take away all those stuff that keep us away from being koine olam haba. So the Dr. Ramban over here that the whole idea from Gullus is about that the Hashem is taking us, they take away the abilities from us to do Torah and mitzvahs. And the whole idea, and then when someone is giving us away for Torah, the Hashem gives us the ability to keep on doing even more learning. Mitzvah geres mitzvah, avera geres avera. What does it mean avera geres avera? Because if you do avera, the Hashem take away the ability to do mitzvahs, and it's be good, not the avera. And that's the famous Rambam. The Rambam says in Hilchos Malachim, what is the idea of being mitzvah of Mashiach? The Chacham and Nevi'im were not hoping for Yemais Mashiach because we should have a country that's going to be a top Syria. We're going to destroy Lebanon. We're going to destroy the Hamas. We're going to destroy Syria. We're going to destroy Iran. We're going to destroy all the bad nations. We'll be on top, and we're going to be shayla. We're going to be the first in the strongest stock market, and we're going to lead in agriculture. We're going to lead in high tech. We lead all different things. No, that's not the idea of Yemais Mashiach. That's not what we're waiting for. Not that we should be stronger. We should have to be shayla on Akav. Not for the Umas Olam should pick us up. Not to have nash and ice cream and steak and wine all the time. It's not the tachas of Yemais Mashiach. We should have more time to learn and to be davik in the chachmas Torah. That no one should bother us from doing the Torah mitzvahs. That is the tachas of Yemais Mashiach. So Gullus, the tachas of Gullus is that it took us away from the abilities being kind of Torah and mitzvahs, and the tachlis of olam haba, and the tachlis of schar, the only schar Hashem gives us in this world is that we should have the ability to do more Torah mitzvahs to be kind of Olam Haba. And we have to understand, this is what we have to understand, that all the generations, that they didn't have the ability to do Torah and mitzvahs. All the generations, well, they were all in Gullus, there was shmodas, harigis, even when there was times of calm, there was the mikvois were not good, the learning didn't have svarim, the svarim were burnt, and they had to give taxes, and there was no sefer Torahs, and there was no wine, and there was no allahs, we didn't know, there was so many different things that were going on, there was mezuzahs, tefillin, whatever it is, so many different details, there was had tznius and kedusha, everything, it was very, very hard to go. Most of the Torah, even the mitzvahs that we have, not the mitzvahs that we don't have. We said already, Chaim wrote a sefer that we don't have most of the mitzvahs. But even the mitzvahs that we have, we didn't have. And that's Malka, sereha, bagoyim, and Torah. We weren't sereha to become the Torah mitzvahs, even which we have in Golus. And we have to understand that if in our generation, Hashem gave us back the ability to be Mekayim Torah mitzvahs. Hashem gave us the capability to Mekayim Torah mitzvahs in our generation. But that means to say that the Rebbeinu is saying the time has come. Until now, I haven't. I was godless, and I was keeping you away from Torah mitzvahs. I didn't want you should be connected with you. You ki moes mastanu. The Bigoim says it's true. Moes mastanu. I sent you in godless. But what? The Bigoim heard our cry. It's already enough. The was angry, was enough, and now he's starting to shine his light to us, and we have to feel that, we have to appreciate that. We're still, after 2,000 years of Gullus, we're in trauma, we're shattered, we're a shattered nation, we're a strong nation, we're a nation of lions, and maybe I'll call Mishma Akash Baruch Yeshiv Yishakeini, that Yishakeini, which is the Chaim Mikdash, is being to give us the power like a lion to in Gullus to be like Ari, to stand up against all what we went through. But we're still full of trauma. We still are living in the shadow of all the harigas and shmodas, and stuff is still going on. October 7th, there's still people held in Gaza. Hashem should take them out. But the world is changed to a new world. The world is a different world, and we have so much shafa. There's so much shafa. There's so much pain, but there's so much shafa. And so much of the pain is leftover pain from the Gullus. And we have to appreciate. We want Hashem should give us more. We want that the abundance of love of Hashem showing to us should strengthen. We have to internalize it and appreciate it. We say every day in davening, Yisroel, a love forever of love Hashem has for Klal Yisroel. Amcha ahafta, your nation you loved. Torah and mitzvos, chikim and mishpatim, Torah and mitzvos, the Torah and mitzvos, and chikim mishpatim, you taught us. The expression of love that Hashem has for us, that He shows us, is by giving us Torah and mitzvos. That was the expression of love. The Mountain Torah was Yishakeini mineshikos Mountain Torah, which is the book of love, that expresses the love of Klal Yisroel and the Bigoim. How did it start off? Yishakeini mineshikos Hashem should give us a kiss us on the lips. Like a chassan, the Rashi explains, a chassan does takala. When was that? Rashi says that was the Mountain Torah when the Bigoim spoke to us. That was like a kiss from the Rebbeinu. And Yishakeini mineshikos when Rashi says that in Gullus, we're waiting for that time that Hashem was maftiach to us, that He's going to kiss us again on our lips. Yishakeini mineshikos. What is that? That was Mountain Torah. Mountain Torah is the biggest ahava there is in the world. Ahava selam beis Yisrael amcha hafta Torah mitzvah chikim mishpatim v'salam ma'ata. The Bigoim taught us and He gave us the Torah and mitzvahs. That's the biggest kirva a person can have to the Bigoim Shalom. And in Gullus is a time of kimoes ma'astanu, and then we lose that ability, we lose that ahava, we lose that ability to do Torah mitzvahs. Most of the mitzvahs are taken away from us. Even the mitzvahs that we have are taken away from us. to 50%, 75%, 80%. And obviously, when we could do Torah and mitzvahs, then the Baruch Shalom is again showing us that ahava, that love. We say in Dashim and Esra, panecha, with the shining face, nasata lanu Hashem Elokeinu Toras chaim. He gave us Toras chaim, havas chetzedakah v'rocha v'rachamim. The first thing, what did Hashem give us with His loving and shining face? Toras chaim. He gave us Toras chaim, havas chesed, love to do chesed and tzedakah. And that's the idea of what we're trying to point out over here. That if we have the abilities to do Torah and mitzvahs, then we have to feel the love from Hashem, because we want Hashem this love is going to get stronger and stronger. But if you want to be part of the, there's a cookie cutter. We always say that there's a cookie cutter generation, that a person goes on to conveyor belt in the first grade and comes out of Besmedrash at the other side of the conveyor belt. There's a conveyor belt now. The conveyor belt in Moshe HaMashiach, the Shafa, it's starting to go. Just let's not turn our face the other way. Some people walk up the escalator the other way, with the face down. Let's see, let's appreciate, let's enjoy and use the opportunity, realize what Hashem's doing to us. And what everyone knows, what it says in Masechet Sukkah, that about rain and Yom Tov, that if it rains on Sukkot and you can't do the mitzvah of Sukkot, you can't eat in Sukkot, what is it? Like Eved that brought a becher of wine to his Rebbe, and he took it and spilled it in front of his face. So too, we built a Sukkah, we're waiting to do the Sukkahs, and Moshe says, I'm not interested in your Sukkah. That's what it is when it rains on Sukkahs. So, what does it mean? You do Torah mitzvahs. Torah mitzvahs is the Baruch shows you. If he lets you do Torah mitzvahs, he's showing, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're close to me. But if Chas V'Shalom doesn't let you do Torah mitzvahs, he's taking it and throwing it back in your face. And during Galus, even the mitzvahs that we had, we weren't able to do. But the Baruch lets us do Torah mitzvahs. Then we have to appreciate it. He's letting me mishamash us. That's ba'or panecha. It says, the Ramchal says in Das Tunis, Kihine, or pnei HaMelech, chaim vadei. When we zeiche to or pnei Hashem, from the king, that brings chaim. V'hastiroi, and when he his master, he covers himself from he doesn't show us his shining face, or pnei HaMelech. He mikol kol ra, all the ra comes from there. Aval kivin shakavona, hatachlis behester, he goes on that the tachlis of the hester is to bring out, to take away all the ra. And there's going to come a time that Hashem is going to megala his panim again. It's not going to stay like that for always. Alkein samloi chaki mishpat legalis pnei tiva yanastarim. He made a time that he's going to come. He's going to be megala his good face, which was hidden. He said, and how is that? Oya de ma'asim shi'as bnei adam. What brings Hashem's face should shine again when we do Torah and mitzvahs. Schar mitzvah is the etzem mitzvah. Why? Because when a Torah person does a mitzvah, he has a schus to do a mitzvah. He connects with Hashem, and that means Hashem, he opens up his face. In Ma'isa HaMitzvahs me'iram olav ha'oir hagonas. When Ma'isa HaMitzvahs brings out the oir pnei Hashem, the oir hagonas, that when you mashlam the oir hagonas, that's nish shebshlim echak mitzvayisav nishlam atzma yimam li'liyah ba'oir hachaim ba'olah. Basically, what he's saying is that when every mitzvah is a connection to the source of light, to Hashem's and every time we do mitzvahs, we connect to that and we zeicha to that or. There's a time when you don't do mitzvahs, when you can't do mitzvahs, it covers us. We don't see it. We don't see the or pnei melech. But when you do Torah mitzvahs, that opens up. In our generation, we have so many Torah mitzvahs that all our generations didn't have. But Hashem's giving us the opportunity to learn Torah so much more. We have so much time to learn. Even the ones that work 5.5 days. We have a Shabbos, we have Sunday, half a Friday. The early generations, they went to work early in the morning. We'll come back late at night. People learn in the morning, people learn at night. And We have svarim. We have technology that helps us learn. There's shiurim. There's so much Torah going on. To the first time in since I don't know when, since Matan Torah, that we have so many people learning Torah for themselves about Dirshu and all different. Every Chassidus has their own thing that people 40, 50, 60-year-old people are for themselves Torah about. And we spoke of this in the past, how much the Bachram are being zeich to hasagas that to be the chaim in the early generations were in zeich to. We will mark this, but we will mark again in that. The Rebbe is giving us the ability to do Torah mitzvos. All the mitzvos are being done with dik rav. That means to say that this is the connection to the open HaMelech. The Rebbe is giving us the keys to the exile, giving us the keys to open up the open HaMelech, to connect with the source, the Shorya, the chaim, the chai, and we have to appreciate that even though there was a galus, and it says Malka bagoyim in Torah, the Navi says that there was no Torah in galus, and we're in Tzeicha, all this galus, but we have to appreciate what we have now. The Rebbe is giving us back the Torah. He's giving us back. In Eretz Yisroel, doing Shemitah, they're doing Trumas and Meisers, whether it's Raisa or Rabbanon, but he's giving us slowly but surely more and more is coming back to us. Klal Yisroel is returning to Hashem. And we're opening up anyone with a Bissel Muna and the Divrei Torah, Divrei Chazal, and the Rambam, and a lot more that has to be said on this topic. We'll understand that our opportunities that we're given today, it's not just an opportunity, it's that maybe should change the way of the world, that he created a new system in the world that gives us the ability to accomplish so much more in Torah and mitzvos. And that shows that the Rebbe Shalom opened up a new sha'arim. That's the time to come that we're reconnecting our connection. That the Yishakeini pihu, he's making it stronger. And for that purpose, we have to go back. And we were born into it. Most of this generation was born into this Vayishman Yishirin, all this goodness that Hashem does to us. We were born into it. We don't know what it means without it. We don't know what it means a life without light, a life without electric, a life without cars, a life without computers, a life without bathrooms, a life without whatever it is. Our whole life is a whole Eretz Yisroel. We have a whole new world. We don't know what it means without it. So we have to go back in time, understand what it means when the Messias Nevesh had to go to the mikvah. It was freezing cold. And how little people was able to learn the Torah, how the Rishonim, Gaonim didn't have kosher sefer Torahs. By going back, we'll appreciate what we have, understand where we belong, and what Hashem wants for us now. So that's what Hashem, I hope to B'siyata Shemaya, to reflect on the hard gullus that our office had to be nefesh for, had to go into the fire for, gave their lives up for, shchitas varigas, and they lived, even more than that, they lived every day with Mesiras Nefesh, and in the hardest terms, and they never gave up the Yiddishkeit. We're only around because of their Yiddishkeit, even though it was hard to do the basics, and a lot of times the basics wasn't even done. But their Mesiras Nefesh, the will, the power, kept us going. And with that, we'll appreciate what they did for us and what Hashem's doing for us. And B'siyata Shemaya, we should have a ta'elos from this series of Malka sereha bagoyim, to understand what Klal Yisroel went through in Galus, and to understand what Hashem's doing to us now. And like that, we could use the opportunity for the best as we spoke about.